watching Auto News Now. I'm Kristen Strakalitis. On today's episode, Jamie Butters, host of the Daily Drive podcast, sat down with automotive news reporter Carly Schaffner to talk about Honda's desire to become more efficient.
Carly Schaffner, welcome to Daily Drive.
Thanks, Jamie. It's good to be here.
You had an interesting story in this week's edition of Automotive News about some new thinking on facilities requirements at American Honda. What's going on?
That's right. Well, I spoke with Dave Gardner, who oversees Honda and Acura, and he said just all of the changing times that we're going through right now. He called a lot of our situation uncertain, what they're seeing. It's very hard to predict, but one of the observations that they're thinking is that there might not be such a necessary need for bulky dealer lots with so much inventory.
Obviously, everybody's dealing with a lot less inventory right now. Did he say Honda's inventory is down, like it's a fraction of what it was even just a couple years ago, right?
That's right. He said that when he came on board in May of 2020, that they were sitting with 400,000 units in inventory, and they're down to about 25,000. And Honda in particular has been running in the single digits of days supply. So dealing with myriad issues, trying to keep inventory flowing for customers. And as such, the dealers have become accustomed to selling deep into their pipelines, both Honda and Acura. And that's kind of a good coupling with the trend for digitalization right now. Consumers are more used to going online to find what they want in terms of the mix of trim or engine choices and just vehicles themselves. So he asked the question, do we really need lots that can hold every single option and make and model?
So they used to aim for 60 to 75 days of supply. And in your interview with him, he called that completely inefficient in today's market.
Yeah,
so what is the target? They don't necessarily want to have only 6 days supply, right? What are they aiming for?
He did not give a specific number, but he did say he narrowed it down. We've heard a couple different figures from him, but he narrowed it down to about 20 to 30 days.
Okay. So that's quite a bit more than they have now, but quite a bit less than they used to carry.
Yes. I've heard that Honda will be under a 15-day supply throughout the rest of this year.
Wow. Yeah. So still lingering even through the entirety of 2022. What else has Honda had to learn to do differently in this tight inventory environment that they think can allow them to carry on with less inventory and maybe even smaller dealership footprints?
Well, I think you're seeing a lot of changes right now with the Acura brand going more digital, placing more emphasis in the digital space. I think that best practices from digital will help them be able to see the ordering patterns from their customers and be able to send that information back to the facility to figure out how to optimize what's coming off of the line. He did mention back in a 400,000 unit environment, they did not need to communicate ETAs and delivery dates to customers, but the dealers have been doing a better job at that. And I think that lends to kind of a good transition into the digital environment as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. We've heard about it for years. Brands and dealers and manufacturers and retailers have, wanted Americans to be more like Europeans, place an order and let us make exactly what you want. That's not been the nature of the American consumer. But now that's somewhat changing. It changed as a product of necessity, and maybe it's semi-permanent. What is Honda seeing in terms of customer attitudes in this environment? Are there pros and cons? I think some customers probably don't like the lack of inventory. but maybe they like the online ordering and doing some of the financing even digitally?
Yeah, so Mr. Gardner said that he and the rest of the American Honda team has seen an uptick in the digital action, the ordering, but that the number of customers that actually go from A to Z in terms of purchase is still low, but that their expectations are more managed in terms of waiting for the vehicle that they want to get.
Thanks for tuning in. Listen now to Jamie's full interview on the Daily Drive podcast, available on all podcasting platforms. Have a great day.